We continue our interviews pre-Super Bowl in New Orleans. Joining us now, one of the top running backs in the NFL in a season that saw the resurgence and the rebirth of the running back. He is the great Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan, welcome back.
I appreciate you guys having me on. It's always a great time.
Man, I mean, he's almost a three rockets up his ass kind of guy.
Yes.
I mean, you're one of the fastest in football. One of the fastest.
Definitely a track guy. I think that's one of the biggest things. Guys always ask me, even on the team, man, how do you do that? How do you run the whole field like that? I'm like, it's my track background. You got to know how to hold that speed.
Right. All right, so on the football field, who were some guys that you've been like, whoa, he's faster, or damn, he's fast, like that jump out to you just as I asked the question?
Oh, my. Well, for sure, young guy right now, Gibbs. His acceleration is insane.
Yeah.
Also, Xavier Worthy, I don't even know how Buffalo let the Chiefs get that guy. That's literally insane. But it's funny because when you're a fast guy and then you see guys who have like elite true speed,
right.
It's like, man, that's insane.
Yeah.
Who's the guy that you've had the hardest time staying away from, the fastest DB or cornerback that you always know is going to come up from behind if you get away?
One of the fastest DBs. Well, number one, I used to actually play with him. Isaiah Rodgers.
Oh, right.
I mean, like, even in practice, you break out a long run, and you're like, okay, this is going to look great on the practice tape, and he's just right there. I'm like, oh, man. Like, so if this was a game, I might have gotten called.
All right. I like you a lot. You're awesome. Let's go to one little spot during the season.
Dan,
right?
you're really going to do that? Happy interview.
It was because he learned from it, and he did awesome the next week. But I think the first thing is, had you ever done anything like that before? You almost got in the end zone against the Broncos. You dropped the ball right before you got in the end zone.
Right before, and that's the thing. I've never done that before. So that's why, one, it was devastating because it was a game that had that kind of magnitude to it.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, why now? But then also it was also easy for me to be able to kind of flush it because that's something, as I was just talking to family and friends, at some point after many carries, many touchdown runs, I mean, you're going to have some mishap.
You got to do something
and then hopefully that's the last. There may be one bigger, hopefully not, fingers crossed, but it's like you got to find a way to move past that. But, oh, my gosh, that was I couldn't believe it.
Well, on a positive note, you did move past it the next week. You had some long touchdown runs. You ran through the tunnel with the ball.
Bo Jackson style.
Right?
That was definitely pre-planned.
There was one of these, too, right?
I'm like, listen, I'm going through the end zone. I'm going into the tunnel. If I get a chance to score a long touchdown, I'm going through the tunnel.
You learned the best lesson from the mistake, and you'll never, ever let go of the football until you're in a position to hand it to the official like Barry Sanders used to do.
That's insane because you don't really think about that. And until something like that happens, now you think about it like, okay, let me just make sure I cross this. I don't know how that happened last time, but let me just make sure.
Colts have been close the past couple of years. What needs to happen to kind of get you over the top and get you back into the playoffs?
Number one, and you look at guys like Philly, like the Chiefs, they're great in situational ball. And I feel like that's the difference between the good teams and the elite teams is, yes, every team can make plays here and there, but when certain situations arise, can you execute on the fringe of field goal range? 4th and 1, 3rd and 1. Can you convert? Like, don't take a sack here. Like, those things are what win you football games.
Right. Yeah, no question about that. All right, so you got a quarterback that's young and still going through it. What's, first off, like his superpower, his best thing about Anthony Richardson?
Number one, I mean, aside from his physical talent, he's super competitive. And you can see it. You can see the energy he plays with on the field.
Right.
Similar to like a Baker Mayfield, like type of competitive nature. You can just see it in their eyes.
Right.
And I do think when you have a guy like that, and he's young. He's some of these guys coming out now are like 24. He's still like 22.
Right.
And hadn't played much.
He's
before
very
he came to the NFL.
13 games in college,
Right.
15 in the NFL, so he's young. But when you have a guy that has a competitive nature like that, and then what guys don't see or people don't see, he's on the film. He's in the playbook. He's getting extra reps, so he has that work ethic. I think that in combination with his physical talents, it's going to put him over the edge.
Yeah.
We got a couple of big names out there that are going to end up on new teams this year, and anybody could benefit from the presence of a Myles Garrett. It's not that far from Cleveland. You doing any back channel work to try to get Myles Garrett to view the Colts as the kind of contender he'd like to play for?
Definitely, hit him up, especially because this was after the Pro Bowl. So, it kind of wasn't out yet. Then after that ended, I'm like, oh, man. I said, if I would have known that, I would have kind of been in his year all Pro Bowl. So a guy like that, I mean, like you said, anybody would benefit from an elite talent like that. So hopefully we see him in Indy.
Saquon, right? How well do you know him, right? What about his game this year?
Well,
Can you squat as much as he can?
Oh, man, I don't know about that. But first off, just when that deal went down, all I could think of was, oh, my gosh, it's a match made in heaven.
Right.
He's about to explode.
Right.
And I think now what we're seeing is the version of him in Penn State. Like, the type of things he's doing, that's exactly what he was doing in Penn State.
Yeah.
But it's nothing sweeter than to have someone go through what he went through, and then now he's on the biggest stage of anybody's career, really. The Super Bowl is the biggest stage. And to just see him, it'd be a cherry on top to just see him go ahead and finish that out. That's something very special. He's versatile. He's explosive. He's fast. I mean, there's literally anything he can't do.
Yeah.
And we think about what happened last year. The Giants let him walk. The Titans let Derrick Henry walk. The Raiders let Josh Jacobs walk. And you went through some stuff with the Colts, but at the end of the day, they paid you. They didn't play the games that the other teams did and then let you walk away after you got 6-7 years in. They got ahead of this. They realized the importance of having a great running back. Yes, you can find a running back anywhere, but you can't find a great running back everywhere. And these other guys had to change teams, but the Colts, to their credit, recognized we got to make this guy happy. We got to do right by him. We got to recognize the talent and the value. Or otherwise, you would have been one of those guys like Henry and Saquon and Josh Jacobs.
Definitely, and I think that's a testament to just the organization. You know, Ballard, also a Wisconsin guy, just being able to work through that. And I know a big thing about that was just getting healthy.
Right.
You know, athletes are very structured and regimented, and you know, when you have an injury and you expect to be back by a certain timeline and the just rehab didn't go your way, you didn't heal as fast as you thought, being able to work through that, get back healthy, and then being able to get it done, I mean, it really meant a lot to me, my family, and that's why we go out there each and every single day, every single week to put our best foot forward in order to bring this team closer to a championship.
I want to hear you pitch DQ, Dairy Queen, here in a minute, but I do want one more thing of just like the running back position, the contracts. I know there's a group text of the guys. I've had some of the guys text me about, because I think they've seen me on the show here, and we've thrown out some ideas to help the running backs, right, in the contract situation. Are you a part of that group text and then being part of that conversation?
Definitely. And one thing we talked about was the number one way in order to disprove that false narrative that running backs aren't valuable is to put out elite tape. And I think we've done that this year. Like you mentioned, Saquon, Derrick, Josh Jacobs. We've done that. Then there's some younger guys who are continue to help push that false narrative out the window, like Gibbs, Bijan.
Right.
And we've made progress. There's still a lot more work to be done. But at the end of the day, us going out there and just really showing why we are valuable, the plays that we make, the type of energy and momentum and continuity we bring to a team, I think that's something that we love to show, and we're going to continue to try and show it and help the younger guys.
Cool.
You know, Jason Garrett, who we work with at NBC, former Cowboys coach, he's a firm believer. You have to have a great running back in order to make an offense work. And if you have the great running back, yeah, you need a quarterback too, but a great running back changes everything because the defense is always, where is he? What do we do? And then it opens up everything else. All right. We open up your chance.
Did you bring me a blizzard?
DQ.
Did you bring me a blizzard?
I
I have something. I don't want to say better, but just as good. I have cards for you guys. You guys are going to be able to get the blizzards for sure.
Okay.
Dairy Queen has been taking very good care of me. I'm out here helping promote their new Sauce and Toss Honey Barbecue Chicken Strip Basket, a favorite of mine, especially after a big game, probably like the Tennessee game. Oh, and then on top of that, I'm definitely grabbing the Oreo Blizzard treat. I mean, that's just a match made in heaven. So more so indulging in it in the offseason as much. Don't tell the team.
Yeah.
You know, it's still the beginning of the offseason, though, so I think I'll be fine. But they've been taking great care of me, and that's always a go-to for me.
Oh, I'm a go-to Dairy Queen guy.
There's
to me,
one right down the hill from my house.
I am my go-to. I got a blue one. You know how they can be
house.
red or blue? This one's blue. It's old school where I can walk up to the window and do it.
Ooh.
I'm a peanut butter cup with chocolate ice cream blizzard guy. That's me all the way right there. I'm going to get these wings. I'm going to try them out.
I'm going there right after this.
Are you?
This is taxing. It's not super physical, but it's mentally taxing. You know, you're going a lot of interviews.
No doubt.
I need some Dairy Queen
You
after
talk to
this.
idiots like him. It's not easy.
I could do some Dairy Queen right now, too, especially after dealing with him. Okay, Jonathan Taylor, congratulations on all your success. It seems like just yesterday we were talking to you at the Scouting Combine. Keep kicking ass. We'll be back from New Orleans with more.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Jonathan.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, Jersey.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.